Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be figuring out what happens if John Marston brings a legendary animal back to Beecher's Hope. So I've seen your comments, and you guys wanted me to try this after we brought a legendary animal as Arthur to the various campgrounds in chapters 2 through 6. And I wanted to try this out because obviously it's different characters, they're much older, specifically Jack Marston. How would he react to doing something like this? Now, before I wanted to bring a legendary animal and go through the trouble of that, I wanted to make sure that you could just normally bring an animal to Beecher's Hope, because the last couple of tests that I've been doing, they've all involved bringing things to Beecher's Hope, and I've been getting tired of getting rejected right at the door. And so I didn't want to go through the trouble of a legendary animal just to have to throw it down at the entrance. So what I did is I captured this deer. And it turns out that you can actually bring, animals like this to Beecher's Hope, which is really cool. Now, even if you bring a normal animal like this to Beecher's Hope, you'll get some unique lines of dialogue from Abigail, Jack, and Uncle, which is really cool. So take a listen to some of the stuff that they have to say right now.
Boy, howdy, that's a big one.
You outdone yourself there, John. You all right?
Well, best as one can expect, I guess.
Huge, Pa.
That's good, ain't it?
You showed him how it's done, huh?
I can't believe you killed that.
You're more blood than man.
So that's pretty interesting, right? They will comment on the fact that you have literally brought something back to home. Now, a couple of other things I wanted to try with this. You can't drop an animal inside of the ranch house. You can't just slab this on Jack's bed or, put it on top of Abigail when she's sleeping. If you actually drop it inside the house, it'll put it at a designated area, sort of outside the ranch house, where it'll stay if you just leave it. So I found that to be kind of interesting. I didn't expect you to be able to do that, but I also didn't think you could just drop it inside either, which is kind of cool. So good news. Now we can sort of continue on with the experiment, because we know in theory we should be able to bring a legendary animal back to Beecher's Hope and there won't be any issues. Now the next thing I needed to do was obviously to grab a legendary animal. Now, just like our video we did with Arthur a couple of days ago, I didn't just want to get any legendary animal. I didn't want to get a big one that you just turn into a pelt, and I didn't want to get a small one that you couldn't sling over your shoulder. So I needed to make sure that it was a relatively medium-sized animal. Now, the closest one to Beecher's Hope, at least I believe, is the legendary pronghorn, which is actually located to the south of Armadillo at a location called Del Lobo Rock. You know you're at Del Lobo Rock if you see this area that looks like it's been struck by lightning. We've covered this in a previous video. It's also very close to where one of the rarest horses in the game spawns, the Tiger Stripe Bay Mustang or something like that. It only spawns at this location. So if you see one of those two, you know you're really, really close. And you'll also know that you found the legendary pronghorn because it's literally glowing white. It looks like it should be in the snow, but it's this majestic white creature. So it's pretty easy to spot. It's also very easy to take out if you have a rifle, or again, you can use explosives, shotguns, pistols, revolvers, whatever the case is. You don't damage legendary animals. You just kill them however you need to. Some of them are pretty tough. The legendary pronghorn is not the case, so you really don't have to worry about that. And now the trick is getting back to Beecher's Hope. Now, if you are not in Epilogue Part 2, please be careful doing this. If you go here as John Marston in Epilogue Part 1, without your guns and stuff like that, you might run into the Del Lobo, and if they kill you, you might lose your legendary animal. So just something to keep in mind. But anyways, we returned back to Beecher's Hope, and I was hopeful that we would get some really cool lines of dialogue from our 3 family members here. The only problem with that is there seems to be a lot more specific lines of dialogue that John says to his family unlike what Arthur says to the other gang members, I guess because they're more closely related. So you sort of have to get those out of the way. And number two, there's fewer people, so you're going to have less reactions. However, with all of that said, and after you get done sort of talking to people, you will get some unique reactions from your family members, which is really cool. And this is what they have to say about you bringing a legendary animal back home.
Morning.
I ain't seen one of those before, I don't think.
Didn't think I'd see one of those around here.
Boy, howdy, that's a big one.
Evening.
How much meat's that gonna have?
Have a good night.
That's like something out of a book.
Hey, son.
Where'd you find that, Pa?
Hey.
That'll spoil you hold on to it any longer.
How you doing?
You gonna carry that around till Christmas?
Oh, hey, Uncle.
That thing's gonna turn you don't do something with it.
Okay, so that was pretty cool, right? Especially the conversations with Jack Marston, because he is the character that has aged the most. So he's going to have much more different reactions than what we saw with Arthur when he would talk to Abigail or even Uncle, in chapter 2. So that's awesome. Now, I would recommend you guys try this for yourself, because there are some times where other members like Sadie and Charles will be at the ranch. So you'd sort of have to time this right. I didn't have any saves where I was past epilogue part 1, but not in between a part of epilogue part 2 where John and Sadie and Charles were all at the camp. My saves are all after American Venom, so it's just John's family. So again, that's why I definitely encourage you guys try this for yourself, because maybe you have a different save than me. Maybe you'll get some different lines of dialogue. Who knows, maybe you'll discover something completely new that I was unable to. Now, if you do end up trying this for yourself, I don't know if there's any differences that the reactions that your family will have based off of what time of day it is. But I did notice that it was a lot easier to interact with your family members so that they will give you a reaction, not during the middle of the day. During the middle of the day, Abigail will be working on stuff, Uncle will be working on the farm, Jack will be playing with Rufus, and if they're doing an activity or engaging with each other, they won't respond to you. So I've noticed that mid-morning or evening time is the best, because at night they're either sleeping or they're sitting around the campfire. And again, if they're doing an activity like that, they won't respond or react to the fact that you're carrying around this legendary animal. So just some food for thought if you do try this for yourself. Now, just like that deer that we ended up bringing a little bit earlier, the same sort of restrictions apply. You can't drop the legendary animal off just wherever. The second you do, it's going to sort of teleport you almost. And another thing that's interesting, I didn't really mention this with the regular deer, but if you decide to skin the animal and then carry it over your shoulder, you will get some different lines of dialogue. They won't necessarily comment on the legendary animal. They'll comment on how you have blood on your shirt or how you haven't washed in a while. So that is kind of interesting that they sort of ignore this rare beast and comment on the fact that you are a little bit dirtier than normal. So overall, I thought this was a really fun experiment, and obviously it's really silly just to carry an animal like this over your shoulder to camp. But again, it shows you that Rockstar really did think of everything here as far as the lines of dialogue they gave to characters, because honestly, in my couple of playthroughs, I never brought the legendary animals back to camp. I would always just bring them to the trapper so that I could create the cool articles of clothing and satchels and hats and accessories. But it is pretty neat that apparently some people do this, and Rockstar prepared for that with the unique lines of dialogue that I think are pretty awesome. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating on this video. That would be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. Remember, if you'd like me to check out any other mysteries or experiments, secrets, or you just have a cool idea you'd like me to try, write me a line on my Facebook page. I'll leave a link to that in the description. But with all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.